Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Shai Shovah Kodash. Shalom to the hopefully elect up there. I'm going to entitle this video, "You Dumbasses Are Clueless." And Exodus chapter 21. Let's see where the Spirit takes us. So you see right here, this is the popular report. This individual's name is Popular. That's why it's called a popular report. I'm not going to play the video for obvious reasons. I'm not going to try to make this video long, but let's see where the Spirit takes me. We may go into other topics. Anyway, it says, our secondary title would be "The World Would Be a Better Place Without Christians." Hey, if the Christians would just destroy the most, I just made them disappear, the world would be a much better place. Breaking, refinery fire, more trains and steel mill fire or fires should be breaking, refinery. Or you're not going to get this on your MSM, your mainstream media. There's a lot of acronyms going around. Acronym meaning accurate name, like, for example, the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, the CDC, Center for Disease Control. It should be P and Prevention. IoT, Israel, Israel, a T-bone, is IoT, Internet of Things, which you would, in the very near future, you'll be a part of the Internet of Things, which I call it Internet of All Things. So that would be IOAT, Internet of All Things. Right now, Internet of Things is your coming, what do you call it, smart cities. Like you have a smart TV. A smart TV is different than a regular TV because you have apps actually on your TV. You can take a regular TV, like in my living room, I have a flat screen. It's not a smart TV, but I turned it into a smart TV because the cable company that I deal with turned the TV into from the box, it turned the TV into a smart TV. Plus I have Chromecast, which I can take anything that I can get on my smartphone or even on the web, on the desktop, and I can cast it onto the TV. So, you can take a regular flat screen and turn it into a smart TV. So a smart TV has apps, and it's and you can interact with it. So a smart city would be what? You would be connected to the city by your smartphone. But ultimately, you will be connected to that city, that smart city, by you being a smartphone, because they're going to make you into a smartphone by putting a charagma in you. What's in the phone? What's the thing in the phone that makes it smart? You got all those components, but you have a SIM card, which is really a chip. Look up a SIM card. What is a SIM card made up of? And then you have apps, which are applications. So when you get that charagma in you, you're going to have applications in your charagma, which works with the smart city that you're in. They showed you that in the movie Minority Report, starring Tom Cruise. He went into, but they were using eye scanners. He went into the Gap, I believe it was, and he had the Japanese man's eye, and he put the eye up, and it said, "Good morning, Mr. Quatermono," whatever his name was. Good movie, predictive programming, just like white noises. And that's something that we see. Other, you got these boneheaded Christians out here that don't know what the hell's going on. They just going about business. Can't wait till Sunday morning come. What the Lord gonna preach? What the pastor gonna preach? I don't know what he's said, but he sure preached good. You are the stupidest people on the planet Earth. You bunch of Christians. Christians, it would be a wonderful thing if there was a disease to just destroy all Christians. All Christians. All Christians. It would be a beautiful thing if one day we woke up one morning and there were no Christians. Yeah, but my mom's a Christian. Well, fuck your mama. Okay? Anyway, breaking refinery fire, more trains, meaning more train derailments and steel mill fires, a fire. So I went into another video. Let me see. And I just subscribed to this individual right here. Let me bring up the other one. Oh, somebody tells me I'm congested. No shit, Sherlock. Let me see. Yeah, I was watching this and I just got mad. There's one clown. He said his mother was asking the Lord for a miracle, and the Hebrew Israelite dude came into her life. So he became an Israelite. He's against it now. Oh, this right here. Oh my goodness, I couldn't even watch this. I was gonna kick the monitor in. No difference between a Hebrew Christian and a Christian. This woman said, "I just had a pork chop sandwich and it was good." With dreadlocks on her head, looking like a hot mess. A female preacher gets a swift judgment. A warning just been sent out. Oh, and by the way, if you don't notice, if any of you white people are watching, you're really not white. You're different shades of red, and you descended from Edom, Esau. Now you're gonna have Israelites that look just like Esau, so you better hope like hell you're um you're the wheat, not the tear. I was watching this. Somebody was in a plane, an aerial plane, so we used to say it, and it was filming. You know, now people take out cameras and they film from above the cloud, and there was a UFO flying, and they're going to intensify. Don't be surprised if one day the Most High makes it blatant and sends a million so-called UFOs and just have them just park up in the sky for all to see. Can't deny it. Can't deny it. Like in the movie Close Encounters of the Third Time, like the last closing scenes, like the last maybe 10 minutes of the video, there was all kind of different UFOs of different shapes and sizes. Then the so-called mothership came down and blew the trumpet. You know, don't be surprised if that happens. That's in the book of Maccabees. I believe it's the second Maccabee 5. We went through it. I'm almost positive it's second Maccabee 5. I'm not going to go to it, but it shows how the angels came down in the form of chariots when they stayed up in the air for 40 days. And the warriors down there, they were hoping, they were nervous. They were like, what the hell is this all about? When the Lord come back with the angels, pursuant to Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. This place is done. This is going to be a dramatic, spectacular ending to Esau's world and introducing to the new world, the new kingdom. You going out in the bang, for real. And with everything said and done, Babylon the Great, the U.S. will be the biggest desert on the planet Earth by way of ICBM missiles. Give me a second here. Okay, so I spoke on this here too. Damn commercial. Okay, so I went through this one last night. I did like a little 2-minute video. Emergency in 4 states, train crash carrying explosives and more fires. Patrick Humphrey, which as you can see, I subscribe to. And I'm gonna say this here concerning Wi-Fi and other groups that followed um, the former One Westers, kind of set up their ministry based upon the different One West groups that include Sakari and Wi-Fi and the rest of them, right? Um, let's say we the former One Westers, you know, you got the IUIC, you got the ISUPK, you got the, you know, what is that? The HODC, you got the all these different groups, LOI, whatever. LOI doesn't go out that much. They don't do too many videos. The AOC used to do a lot of videos. They don't do a lot of videos. But the major camps, you know, IUIC, ISUPK, GMS, those are like the 3 major camps out there. Then you got a lot of new camps that followed our lead. Let's say IUIC, ISUPK, not GMS, because GMS is already doing it. Let's say all those major camps taught the same thing that we're teaching, that the MOTB is, you know, CHIP, you know, taught it, you know, Nate does a video, you know, yes, yep, the MOTB, the CHIP, and all that, General Yohannes, Captain Tazariak, all these different groups, they're all teaching that. You know, because Zabak, Priest Zabak's teaching it. Yes, Mark of the Beast. Somebody comes up, what about this MOTB? What's the Mark of the Beast? What's that all about? He says the microchip. Guess what? Guess what? If Wi-Fi came to our camp and came to Zabak's camp, you know what they would be teaching? That the MOTB is a Karagan. That's what they be teaching. And the reason why they come against GMS, even though they started following they say Shalom now. There was a point where the great and powerful Oz, aka Naquan Bomb, he used to say Shalom. Apostle Gabar exposed him. He said Shalom. Now he says Shalom. Where do you think he got the Shalom from? From GMS. So he's just a mockingbird. He's just a massacre regurgitator. That's all he is. That's all he is. And he's not of the elect as it stands. He's not of the elect. Because the elect's supposed to teach the whole truth. So anyway, let me do this. I want to go into, I want to say this too. Also, if you're dealing with the scriptures, you have to deal with the whole book. You can't take anything out of the book and you can't add to the book. And there's precepts on that. Revelation 22, 18 and 19 comes to mind. What is that? Proverbs 30, what is that? The 5th verse, 5th or 6th verse around there. Well, even in Deuteronomy, I believe it's Deuteronomy 4, it tells you about not taking a matter of fact, let's get that. Let's get that. So we're here in Exodus 21, and we're gonna try to read most of it. Let's see where the Spirit takes us. What was I gonna say? Oh, okay. Let me go here to Deuteronomy 4. See, if you guys like IUIC, they say keep the commandments of the Most High, follow Christ, and keep the commandments of the Most High. They don't know that, and they never go into the laws. Never go into the laws. They might touch upon the Lord too. They don't. They don't really know the laws other than the fringes. But if they were to really know the laws, statutes, and commandments, and really knew the scriptures and followed the scriptures word for word, they would know that the Sabbath is not Friday sundown and Saturday sundown. There's nowhere in the scriptures. Now, if you go to one of these interpretations, like one of these versions, one of them, I believe it could be the NLT or the NIV, it was one of them that it actually mentioned Friday. It mentioned Friday. Let me see if I can find that. Friday. Okay, boom. So it's the NLT. Nehemiah, then I commanded the gates of Jerusalem should be shut as darkness fell every Friday evening. Where where did they get that from? There was no Friday, and not to be open until the Sabbath ended. So they clearly went off. Now let's read okay, Mark 15 and 42. This all happens on Friday, the day of preparation, the day before the Sabbath. This was done late on Friday afternoon, the day of preparation, as the Sabbath was about to begin. They added that in there. Now let's deal with these precepts. Let's go to King James. As a matter of fact, I got to do it this way. Let me do it this way. Let me take Nehemiah 13. Oh, Nehemiah 13, the prophet was cursing them out for getting with these other women, marrying them, and having children, and the children were speaking. You know, they would have half Israelite and half whatever their mama was, right? And they could have dealt with them women, but the thing is, they wasn't supposed to marry them women and fall in love with them women. So, and we may go and get into that too. Okay, so now let me see. It says, and it came to pass, this is in the King James Version, Nehemiah 13 and 19, and it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded, didn't say nothing about Friday. They add that in there. So now let's go to Deuteronomy 4. It's either Deuteronomy 4 or Deuteronomy 6. I will start from 1 and then we'll read a couple of verses down. Now, therefore, hearken, O Yasha Allah, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them that they may live and go in and possess the land which Yahweh, the Most High of our fathers, giveth you Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it. That's any of the word, that ye may keep the commandments of Yahweh, your power, which I command you. Your eyes have seen what the Lord Yahweh did, and part of the law is knowing the Most High's name. Did how you gonna call yourself a prophet and not know the Most High's name? I'm a prophet of the Lord. What's the Lord's name? Jesus Christ. Because of Bel PR, for all the men that follow Bel PR, Yahweh, thy power, have destroyed them from among you. Let me do this. Let me see what the commentators have to say concerning this. Okay, let's go to Cambridge. It's nice and short. Your eyes have seen, Deuteronomy 3:21, because of Bel PR, Beth, Bel PR, a place name as in Hosea 9:10, Deuteronomy 3:29. The sin and its punishments are related to JE, whatever that means. Numbers 25. Okay, boom. That's a good precept right there. Numbers 25. I may get into that. Remember the matter of fact, I'll get into it. Let me just keep reading. Then follows 6 to 16 is a similar story about Israel and Midianite seductions from P. B. Baal or Peor was a local deity, otherwise unknown to us. Driver Deuteronomy 63 questions the usual opinion that he was a priapic deity. I got to look that word up. Yet the close association of the charge of worshiping him with that of illicit intercourse with the daughters of Moab. So I'm gonna read that story in Numbers 25 or part of it, combined with the notorious impurity of the Syrian religions, appear to confirm the opinion. Thy God from the midst of thee, note the change to the SG, and look that up. Here from the PL in the beginning of the verse, Samuel, and that's the Septuagint, probably less originally gives, I guess that's place, I don't know, throughout for similar charges as Deuteronomy 4 and 25. Let's see what that says. When you shall beget, it's small letters I can hardly see, and they're light letters, light black letters. When you shall beget children and children's children, and you shall have remained long in the land, and shall corrupt yourself and make a graven image or the Israel or the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of the Most High power, your power, to provoke him to anger. because when he's provoked to anger, he kills you. Okay, so what did I read? And then we're gonna get into Nehemiah 13, because you could deal with women of other nations. In the kingdom, we're gonna have concubines. In the scriptures, do you know certain men of Israel had children with concubines? But you can't love them. You can't love them. There's a difference between a wife and a concubine. See, Solomon could have 1,000 women, but he wasn't supposed to marry them. The only ones he was supposed to marry were the daughters of Israel, man. Okay, the sin and its punishment as related. Similar story. A similar story about Israel and Midianite seduction. Now that's in Numbers 30, if I'm not mistaken, where they destroyed the Midianites, and Moses got mad at them, and he said, just kill all the men, kill all the men, kill all the grown men, kill all the men, baby men, the infants and the toddlers and the young men, under 12 or whatever. If they were over 12, they were killed because they were considered men. If they were 20, 25, 30, 40, 60, if they were 8, kill them. Kill the men and kill the women that had husbands. The only ones that you're to take are the young girls, and they were the girls, inside joke. And what did they do with them? For you Israelites out there, for you ABC camps out there, why did Moses make that statement? He made that statement because we don't need no men. Kill them, kill them, kill them. Kill the baby boys, kill the grown men, kill the married women, because the married women, they had belief in their gods. So you fall in love with them. The young girls, now this happened in the ancient one. I'm not saying to do this now. You'd be a fool to do something like this now. You mold them as to being like an Israelite woman, even though they wasn't an Israelite woman. But what's the difference? Anytime you had children with them, the the mother was a Midianite, but guess what? The sons or the daughter were Israelites. It says, so an Israelite man could get with any woman on the planet Earth, a Moabite woman, an Ammonite woman, a Hawaiian woman, and the children that are produced by by him laying with that woman are all Israelites anyway. Uh, let me read some more numbers. Okay, numbers. I'm gonna have to go into this, like I said. So it says a similar story about Israel and Midianite seduction was a was a local deity, which is Baal Peor, otherwise known to us. Driver Deuteronomy 63 questions the usual opinion that he was a pre-epic or pre-epic deity, yet the close association of the charge of worshiping him with with that of illicit intercourse with the daughters of Moab or the Midianites. So when you having, they were called Vestal virgins. They were also called what do you call it? Temple prostitutes. So when you had sex with them, you would do it in the name of Biel um, Biel Peor. You would do it in the name of Biel Peor. So you know what I'm gonna do? Let me take Biel Peor, and then we got to go to Numbers 25. Let me see. Let me go to Got a lot of tabs open up and close some of these tabs. Okay, I don't need this one. 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 This one. Oh, this is crazy. If you put in Tommy Lee, whoever she is, this dwarf. This is a funny ass video. Let me see. Okay, let me do this. Let me go to Google. I'm kind of thinking out loud here. Okay, Baal Peor means Lord of the open holes. What was Baal Peor in the Bible? Okay, what was Baal Peor in the Bible? What was Baal Peor? The god of who is Baal, not Baal Peor, but Baal God in the Bible. Let me try this. Let me try this. I don't want to do all this reading. Okay, name of a Canaanitish god. This is why Yahweh told Moses, why Yahweh al Mashah, and the Lord spake unto Moses and said, tell the children of Israel not to marry among the Canaanites because they were taking their land, and plus we had no love for them. And if you lay with them women, you were laying with them, and they would be praying to Baal Peor. Uh, it says Peor. It says name of a Canaanite god. So it came from the Canaanites. Peor was a mountain in Moab. Hence the special locality Baal Peor was designated. It gave its name to the Baal who was there worshipped and to whose service Israel before the entrance into Canaan was for a brief time. The god is himself also called Peor by abbreviation. It is commonly held that this form of Baal worship, especially called for sensual indulgence, sex, the context seems to favor, and this is one of the reasons why the Lord said, don't deal with the Canaanites. Because, first of all, they're not your people. You're going to take their land. You were supposed to have a complete hate for them. And if you had sex with them, you fall in love with them, you're going to fall in love with their gods. The context seems to favor his view on account of the shameful licentiousness into which many of the Israelites were there enticed, but all BL and all you nigga women, you hip hop women, y'all all go back to Il Nana, which is a a temple prostitute. So all you black women, you're a bunch of prostitutes. Worship encouraged this sin, and PR may not have been worse than many other shrines in this respect. So when you have sex with that woman that follows Baal PR, you're gonna have to pray, baby. You're gonna get some sex, but you gotta pray to my God. And you want the sex, so you're gonna pray to that God. Though the evil there was certainly flagrant in Hosea, what is that, 9? If my Roman numerals are correct, BLPR is the same as Beth PR, and is uh, contracted from Bel Beth, or which means house of BLPR. So it says what? In order for you to have sex with a Vestal virgin or temple prostitute, you have to pray with her. And you're having sex with her in the name of BLPR. I just lost it. Bear me for a minute. Yeah, what the hell happened? Mountain special. Okay, here it is. It is commonly held that this form of Baal. Oh, and by the way, all your Christian churches, they're all temples. They're all temples in the name BLPR. They're all temples in the name. All the women that attend these Christian churches are temple prostitutes. You know how much wickedness goes on in these churches? The adultery, the preachers sleeping around with other men's wives. This guy what's his name? D.L. Hughley. What show did he do it? If somebody knows the show, I don't know if it was the Breakfast Club. It was one of them shows. He recently said they asked him what's the gayest place on the earth or America. I think he said the earth. He said the gayest place on the planet is a church, is a black church. That's what he said. That's what he said. If somebody can find it, please put it in. He said the gayest place, I believe he said on the earth, is the black church. Because you got a lot of mo's up in that church, especially always the choir director. He's always a mo, always a mo. The guy sitting there playing the piano, he a mo. Okay, it is commonly held that this form of Baal worship, especially called for central indulgence. That's why the Most High called the churches harlot houses, because those Christian churches, the God that they worship is really Baal PR, but they put Caesar there, which Baal PR is a black god. Let me try something here. Not Deuteronomy. Let me put in harlot. Let's see what comes up. Harlot. Okay, harlot house. That's what I wanted. Harlot house. What is this, Josh? Bear me for a minute. Bear me for a minute. I want to open this up. Okay, let me come back over here. Joshua 6, verse 17, and the city shall be a curse, even it and all that are therein, to Yahweh. Only Rahab The harlot shall live, she and all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. I'm sorry, let me put in the word harlot houses. Harlot houses. Harlot houses. Okay. Let me try it this way. Let me try it this way. Okay, that doesn't come up. Bear me for a minute. Let me do it this way. Harlot houses. Bible. Let me try this. Harlot house. Harlot house meaning Bible. Let me try Bible. Okay, different harlot definition. Somebody help me out here. Try this again. Okay, it's harlots. Harlots houses. Harlots houses. I knew it was in there somewhere. Okay, there's Jeremiah. Jeremiah 5, verse 7. Should come up now. Jeremiah 5, verse 7. How shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me. Any Jake that's a part of this established Christian churches, the Most High is going to destroy them. They're going to get that mark, and the mark. And when I say mark, I'm talking about the mark found in Ezekiel 9:4. Because when you read it, why did the Most High destroy the people that received that didn't receive the mark? I'm sorry, that didn't receive the mark. The ones that didn't receive the mark, um, them that sigh and cry received the mark, right? Which the word there is tawa, which means exempt from judgment. Don't kill that person. The ones that didn't receive the mark were guilty of the previous chapter, which is Ezekiel 8, when they were secretly worshiping, weeping, the women were weeping for Tammuz. So that's what the whole black church system is based upon. A harlot house is based upon uh, the spiritual demon Satan in disguise. Is based upon the worship of Baal PR. And church people don't know that because they don't study. They just go to church. They listen to the pastor, which he set up. He's a damn Mason. So all you jakes that are into Christianity, if you don't come out of that nonsense, the Most High is gonna destroy. You're just gonna be you're gonna be part of that sacrifice, man. You're gonna be part of the burnt sacrifice and the greatest altar that was the Most High ever created. It right here in Babylon the Great. Jeremiah 5, verse 7, how shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me and sworn by them that are no gods, because they worship in Caesar Borgia, when I had fed them to the full. They then committed adultery, spiritual adultery, and physical adultery, and assembled themselves by troops in the harlot houses. So what are the harlot houses? These churches. All kind of debaucherous things go on. All kind of adultery and passing land with the women, and you know, pedophiles all up in the church, man. You know. So the Most High gonna get all these Christians, these black Christians and any Christian, but mainly we're dealing with Israel. When we start getting beamed up, they ain't gonna get beamed up. They're gonna be calling on Jesus, Jesus, and then they're gonna see that fire hit them, and then they're gonna wind up in the spiritual realm, and they're gonna have to come back as newborn babies because reincarnation is biblical. And vocab, you're gonna get it too. You're gonna get it too. All you Edomite Christians, this place is getting ready to get fucked up. The Most High gonna destroy this place. He's gonna destroy this altar. He's gonna destroy the altar. Isaiah 34. So I really don't have to go into this no more. So you got to tell these people in the church, you're worshiping Satan. That's a white Jesus in there. Start with the white Jesus, that the real Jesus, I don't even like to say the word Jesus, is a so-called black man. Now, when you show them, they're not going to see it. If you show them they got woolly hair, well, white people got woolly hair too. You see these IUIC guys, they'll go in front of a church. I was just watching a video, IUIC Orlando, and these fools in front of the church arguing with these people. I would have said, look, man, let's get the hell out of here. Even if I wasn't the head guy, well, you ain't the head guy. Well, I said, let's get the hell out of here anyway. I'm the head guy now because I'm bringing the scriptures out, man. Matthew's 10, starting from the 5th and the 6th verse on down. It says, shake the dust. I'm giving you guys an order. Now they'll bring me to council and they say, well, look, I'm bringing out the scriptures, man. The scriptures override what you got to say. Well, we no longer want you in the school. Okay, boom, I'm out of here. You know, F you and have a nice day. That's why we call these guys in the IUIC a bunch of zombies, because I'm gonna prove that. As soon as Bishop Nate comes out, if he comes out and says it, that the MOTB is a charagma, they'll automatically see it. They'll automatically see it. Keep that same energy. You guys, Wi-Fi, and the rest of you clowns that's been teaching, that the MOTB is a sin, or you change it up every couple of years. So I guess you can go ahead and get it. I want you guys to keep the same energy, because we're gonna be doing videos on it. We're gonna see if you guys are gonna line up, and make sure you film the fact that you're getting charagma, right? You're gonna change your tune, trust me. So now let's do this. I went a little over. I was a little long-winded, but anyway, let's go to what I said I was going to go. Exodus, right? Exodus 21. If we don't read all of it, we'll read some of it. Ordinance for the people. It's also in Deuteronomy 15, 12 to 18, right? It says, and if thy brother and Hebrew man or an Hebrew woman be sold unto thee and serve thee 6 years, then in the seventh. So you had Hebrew men sold their daughters and or their sons, but mainly their daughters, to other Hebrew men. So Hebrews had other Hebrews as their slaves, as their servants, because the contract was for 6 years. And when they left with great substance, so they can be established. The whole story with Laban and Jacob, right? Yaquab, he got the two daughters because he worked 14 years for the two daughters. So Yaquab went into captivity. So you can use that word slavery, servant, for 7 years. It says, then in the seventh year, thou shalt let him go free from thee. And when thou sendest him out free from thee, thou shalt not let him go away empty. This is where Esau gets the severance package when they lay you off or they fire you, or whatever the case may be. They give you a severance package. Now that goes back to the Israelites. But the severance package that you got, if you work 7 years, in Esau's system, you got to work 40 years or whatever. You got to work all, and then you get a watch and you get a little bullshit ass paycheck, and you got to get a job on top of that. When you did 6 years in the seventh year, you were released as a man, not a woman. A woman that was a Hebrew man that sells his daughter to another Hebrew man as a servant. She's under this guy for life. And if another Hebrew servant becomes a man becomes a servant under that man and falls in love with that woman and has children, he gets to leave on the seventh year. But his wife and his children have to stay. So what mostly happened? He said, "Look, I'm gonna get that oil in my ear, and I love my master, and I love my wife, and I love my children. I'm gonna be a servant to this man forever till I die, till the day I die." So that's what the charagma is all about. Ultimately, that's a digital oil, an electronic oil. So even if the Most High, and I said this before, even if the Most High wants to save you, when the Most High when the Lord, when the Yahushua start beaming Israel, the elect up, he gonna put his sights on the guy, and then that Lucifer race is gonna light up on his ass, and right where that Lucifer race is, he he's gonna know. He got a chip in him. I can't deliver him because he wants to be Esau's servant forever. He wants to be Esau's servant forever. That's what the worship part is about. The worship part in Revelation 13 is not talking about you're going to bow down to some president. It doesn't mean that. The worship part means is you're going to do what they say do. You're going to be a part of the system. Like all you people in the military, eventually you're going to get the charagma, all right? There was a lot of pushback with that in the military. A lot of people in the military, they want to get it. So they were threatened with court-martial. A lot of them said, fuck you, court-martial me, I ain't getting it. And a lot of them said that because they thought it was the MOTB. It wasn't the MOTB. It was a dry run before the MOTB. And we never said that was the MOTB. So you're going to get shooken up. All you Israelite camps out there, you're going to get a big shakeup. The only one that's not going to get shooken up are the men at GMS. And anybody in GMS that's questioning it, please exit stage left. Get the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. In my Canelo voice. Then in the seventh year, thou shalt let him go free from thee. And when thou sendeth him out free from thee, thou shalt not let him go away empty. That's a severance package. thou shalt furnish him liberally out of thy flock. Did not Yaakov get liberally out of the flock of Laban and get his two daughters? And then with the two daughters came two women slaves that he raped. And it was Leah and Rachel. They said, "Oh, go ahead, lay with my husband." And then I don't want to lay with his husband. His nose is I don't like his nose. He got a big nose. I don't like the way his ear. Nope, they were slaves, man. They were servants. So you Israelite women gonna have servants that you're gonna have your and women didn't have a problem with that. Well, Sarah did. Sarah had a problem. She got emotional. All right. This is what the movie. What's that movie that came out back in the '90s? The Handmaid's Tale was. Watch that. The original Handmaid's Tale. I think it came out in 1992. And they based that movie off of the scriptures. They were reading out of the scriptures. They said, "Thou shalt furnish him liberally out of thy flock, and out of thy floor, and out of thy wine presses of that with wherewith the Lord thy power have blessed thee, thou shalt give unto him." Meaning, when he's freed, he can have servants now. He's established all Israelite men when when they turn 12 years old, their parents will send them over to be if they're not rich, the parents will send them over to be a servant unto another Israelite that's well established. And so he worked for 6 years. He's not thinking about no woman. He's just gonna work 6 years. Then the 7th year, he's gonna get that severance package. Then he's gonna be so well established that he's gonna be able to get servants of his own. And then that's how from 12, 7 years, that's 19. So at 19, the average Israelite boy that became a man, when that man turned 19, 20 years old, he was well established. That's why they stoned the stubborn kid. The kid that was stubborn, no, he was about 12, 11, 12 years old, 13 years old. He didn't want to go out and be a servant to nobody. He just wanted to, drink and do what he wanted to do. You put that nigga to death. See, that's why you got a bunch of black gremlins all over America. But these guys are gremlins, man. They're gremlins. They're fucking gremlins. I'm talking about you jakes that are out there with your what the hell is that music called? I don't even know what that music called. Trap music, or whatever the hell you call it. Drill music. Y'all diss each other on social media, then y'all kill each other, man. Ain't no other nation do that shit unless they're following your ass. So if that law was applied in Deuteronomy 20:21, that when you found out the kid was stubborn, he didn't want to work, he didn't have a work ethic in him, then you stone him to death. So this is your problem. And guess what? Why you think this guy Nero wants to come back and he's pushing the guillotines? Because he sees what's going on, man. And he said in the speech, the other day I was listening to it. He said, if I was the president, that war in Ukraine, in Russia and Ukraine, would be over inside of 24 hours. And you know what? He does have the power to call certain people and make certain calls and make shit. They got to get this old fossil out of here, man. They got to get this old fossil out of here, man. Let's just pray that somehow they get him out of here and they bring Trump, and Trump can bring them guillotines and them firing squads and all that. And the average Jake don't even know Trump is saying that because it's not on the mainstream media. You understand? So anyway, you know what? Since I read in Deuteronomy, I'm not going to actually go deep into it, but let me do this. I'm not going to get all into it. Let me see. Okay, it says here, if he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. And see Esau, he didn't do that in slavery, right? Because we're supposed to all be brothers, right? We're supposed to all be Hebrews. He's a Hebrew Edomite, we a Hebrew Israelite. They were supposed to make you work 6 years or 7 years. They're supposed to let you go. They made you slave for life. It says, third verse, if he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons, guess what? When it's time for him to go, the 7 year, he can go, but his children and his wife has to stay there. So what normally did you do? And I said that. He would say, I'm going to stay with my master because I love my wife and my children. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, that's the thing with the all, then his master shall bring him. And this is among the Hebrews, the Israelites. You know what I'm going to do? Let me mark this and let me come back over here. Okay, let me come back to 6. Then his master shall bring him to the judges, and that's where it says all. The MOTB is nothing but a digital all, an electronic all. This electronic digital all is going to allow you to stay in the system. And if a man sell his daughter, this is an Israelite man. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maid servant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. In other words, after 6 years, they're not going to release on the 7th year. If a Hebrew Israelite, an Israelite man sells his daughter to another Hebrew Israelite man, um, she's a slave for life. If she please not her master, who hath betrothed her to himself. In other words, I like the way this woman is. I'm going to marry this woman, and that had nothing to do with her choice. He didn't say, "Do you like to get married?" No, because she starts off as a servant. She's a slave. Let's do this. We're the 8th verse, right? It says, "And if a man sell his," see, this is touchy. A lot of these guys are turning into Christians. A lot of these Hebrews, Issachari and them, they turn into Christians now. All right? IUIC, they turn into Christians right about now. They're saying, I should have stayed with the church. And if a man sell his daughter to be a Hebrew man, because this is the laws, this is when Moses was giving them the laws in the wilderness. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maid servant, she shall not go out as the man servant today. Start from the first verse on down, and you'll get what I'm saying. I just said it. And now let me click on this. Let me look up the word maid servant. Okay, that's man servant. So they're saying the Seminole Indians are not our people because they had black slaves. Well, guess what? They were following the laws of the Most High. More proof that they're Israelites. Dumbass. Okay, so the word is for maid servant, female slave, maid, handmaid, concubine of humility, meaning what? You can make her work in the field. You can make her do whatever you want to do. She's going to work in the kitchen. She's going to do this. She's going to sew. She's going to bake you cakes. Or you can just pop her and make her your wife. You say, you're going to be my wife. Now, once she becomes your wife, she's just a wife. She's no longer a servant. She's a free woman. They show you that in 12 Years a Slave. Edomite man fell in love with one of the slaves and married a slave and made her a mistress. You guys yelling, keep the law, and you don't even know the law. You don't even know the law, other than putting fringes on your garment. That's not the law. And if she pleased not her master, meaning he popped her a couple of times, and I'm not feeling her. Who hath betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be. Now, if she don't like it, it's tough. Too bad. He gonna take it, and she'll get used to it. Then shall he let her be redeemed to sell her unto a strange nation. Now that strange nation is talking about another Israelite that could be that happens to be living outside of Israel, that could be traveling. It ain't talking about you're gonna sell her to the Canaanite. You don't do that shit. It's talking about other strangers are also Israelites. He shall have no power, seeing he have dealt deceitfully with her. He thought he liked her, he didn't like her. And if he have betrothed her unto his son, he might say, you know what? This would be a good wife for my son. And that's how they did it. They got a beautiful woman. The father say, this is a beautiful woman. I'm going to set this woman up to be with my son. And when the son sees a woman, he's going to fall in love with the woman because it's a beautiful woman. He said, son, here's a gift for you, a woman. This is a woman for you. And then he just went in there and popped her. And if he have betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. In other words, she's not a slave no more. She's within the status of that family. She's been elevated. If he take him another wife, and her food, her remnant, and her duty of marriage, which you got to sex her up, shall not be diminished. And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money. So you got to satisfy her. You got to take care of her, and you got to satisfy her, right? And this right here is talking about what? More than one wife. So what's this? You can only have one wife thing. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.